Ever since Akon got this little toupee hair transplant, he been acting real different. Convict music.
Oh, so fabulous. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi Leah. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So a little disclaimer, you guys, I know you already saw who I'm talking about in this video. This video is strictly for educational purposes. Please do not show any form of hate comments, threats, or violence to the person that I talk about in this video. This channel does not support that. We're just here to have a conversation. So you guys, there was this video that I saw flying around of Akon granting an interview. I do not know the question he was asked, so we don't have the question for context. But what I found problematic was what Akon said in the interview. Let me just play the clip.
Yeah.
We a little different when it comes to stage presence. Now in America, oh yeah, them gonna be wobbling, pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half to sleep because they high as hell on stage.
Yeah.
But Africa, we wake up morning, like look at these YouTube clips of all these kids from Uganda and how they be, you know what I'm saying? Like these kids are performers, like so. For us, it comes natural, you know, like to watch the kids from Africa.
So you guys, my eyes literally popped out of their sockets when I heard him say that. I was like, what? Akon said that, like, how could he?
Akon says Africans are better performers than Black Americans, and I agree. No American is going to be better than anybody overseas in the Caribbeans, in the Africa descent locations. Because we got it easy here. These guys just want to stand there and wrap it up and perform, sing it up. These motherfuckers doing 360 spin splits, backflips, bringing out the culture. Man said we a little different. They're definitely completely on a different level different. Saying the same shit I said before I even read what this was. Wobbling pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half asleep because they high. American artists are dry AF.
Pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half to sleep because they high as hell on stage. But Africa, we wake up morning, like look at these.
For this new year, we not engaging in none of these diaspora wars to perpetuate the pale supremacist idea of divide and conquer, because that's exactly what Akon, you feel me, start to engage in. Akon just engaged in anti-black pathology that makes black people look like buffoons, and he did it while using African-American vernacular English, which is kind of funny. Now, could Akon have talked about the great performance of the Africans in Uganda without putting down the Africans in America? Yes. This is a screenshot of Akon's first hit single entitled Locked Up, literally conceptualizing the prison industrial complex and how it uniquely impacts African Americans. Not only that, has built an entire career off the backs of Black culture here in America. So when I start talking about not engaging in diasporic wars, is being able to make an analysis that does not perpetuate pale supremacy in a way that comes at the expense of our fellow individuals or other members in the African diaspora. Huey P. Newton said that we have to think globally and act locally. And what I know from thinking globally is that this little narrative he's concocted about African Americans being high and drunk and having our pants being down and all that over there, that same narrative is weaponized against Nigerians when it came to SARS. We see how when you start to deploy these anti-black pathologies about what you feel like is what black folks doing in America, it also impacts black people throughout the diaspora. Ever since Akon got this little toupee hair transplant, he been acting real different. Convict Music is the name of his record label. And as you see, the literal logo of his record label is an appropriation of the American abolition symbol. It was almost like he's trying to give us a little authenticity test for how African we is, talking about it's natural for them, like it's not natural for us. Come on now, we don't do that. Growing up, I listened to this album. So much love you make. Listen to it, Mama Africa, Mommy Africa. I mean, use hip hop, a uniquely African-American cultural product, to literally line his pockets and give him cultural capital to make it what people was interviewing him. He used that influence to then denigrate African-American culture and see us through the same lens that the pales see us as. What does it mean to only be able to see your people through the eyes of the colonizer? I would argue that a lot of the ways that diasporic wars happen, anti-blackness gets deployed in multiple ways, and I hope, let me know in the comment section, was this video anti-black and calling them out for being anti-black? Let me know.
African.
Yeah.
We a little different when it comes to stage presence.
Yeah.
First of all,
somebody on this app from Atlanta, please, I need y'all front and center. Somebody need to ask this dude Akon why he had that same energy when he was living in Atlanta, running around in Atlanta with his brother Boo, selling bootleg belts and bags. And why he didn't have that energy? Not his brother. Why he ain't got that energy? Please, somebody from Atlanta that knows what I'm talking about, please step up and say something. Cause this dude, no, he wasn't talking that shit when he was living in Atlanta. He wasn't doing none of that goofball shit. He wasn't saying none of that slick shit. He wasn't talking none of that shit. He was very fucking respectful to down south. So I want to know what changed all of a sudden. Cause you got a little money? Cause you got a couple dollars? So you think you can talk shit to black people? Bruh, stay wherever the fuck you at. I guarantee you need to stay wherever the fuck you at.
America? Oh,
In words.
Wobbling, pants hanging half down.
I don't care what nobody said. Akon, you was kissing high clef ass on that. And you know it. Anytime somebody give a stereotypical racial narrative and then you fall for it. That's just like somebody telling me, do all Africans put on deodorant? And clearly I can say, oh no, man, no, not all, man, hell no, not all of them. See, that's what you pulled, Akon. Typical. They do it to all of us, but when you get money and you up there, it's obvious we can see that you just pulled a jabroni on us. See, I have this saying where, you a too, right? It don't matter where you from.
We wake up morning, like, look at this.
Every time that girl gets on camera saying, yeah, we go deeper into this rabbit hole. Akon, the celebrity in this video, explains why Africans are more talented and better performers than Black Americans. I have a question to ask. Does being a certain race of a black person make you more talented or better than someone else? And if you have to ask that question, that sounds a little similar to something else I know. Oh, now I know. Racist. Now, how can a black person be racist to another black person? Well, I'll tell you. There's this thing called cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is when you can be clearly given fundamental, foundational, structural answers to rebuttal an argument. And because someone doesn't really want to receive the information you're giving them, what they'll do is they'll just say, I don't want to hear that, and what I think is the truth. Akon describes a lot of African American artists as being lazy, smoking weed, sagging their pants, and basically how a lot of Americans would describe Black America. Do we not have Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder? Were Black Americans not the first to start jazz music, country music, hip-hop music? A lot of music and a lot of even the style of artists, even in Africa, is imitated by African American artists. So for this man, 1.5 million views, to get up in front of that lady saying, yeah, after Black Americans' ancestors were stolen from the shores of Africa, having to start from literally nothing but slavery. We were not given everything that we have today. To be divided as a Black community, for you to even say that one group of African people is better than another, it sounds about racist. Regardless of if you're African or African American or even Caribbean American or Chinese Black American or whatever, when people see you, they see you as a Black person, especially if you look like this man. So to think that you are better than somebody because of how you racially identify, ethnically identify, or socially identify, and you, like, what? All I will say is read your books, stay in school, kids, and don't listen to fools like this.
Wobbling, pants hanging half down.
Akon, and this is for anybody who thinks like Akon, because I get on this app every day and I see African Americans versus Africans. When I've seen African Americans respond to it, and it's so true, all of this shit is one-sided. But what I will say is, Akon, don't play yourself like you weren't on the airwaves in the early and mid 2000s, like you didn't have music on 106 and Park, an African American network. Like you didn't benefit off of the culture over here. But then again, you turn around and you go on ZZ Mills, you go on her talk show, and then you call us lazy, our pants are sagging, we're not talented, and then you compare us to the kids in Africa, Akon, be for real. And this is for anybody who thinks like this. I'm so tired of getting on this app and seeing Africans, Caribbeans, Hispanics, y'all all want to shit, and it's not for everybody. But some of y'all really want to shit on African Americans, but y'all have no problem benefiting off of what the fuck we created and our ancestors, what they created. Y'all have no problem with that. But for you to get on that show and say the bullshit that you just said, you played yourself. You played yourself all the way. I just don't understand how y'all benefit off of our culture and then y'all want to shit on us at the same time.
My eyes basically popped out of their sockets when I heard him say that. I'm like, the nerve. I couldn't believe that Akon, knowing his entire music career was built on his proximity to African Americanness, I couldn't believe he had the nerve to say that. Like, how could he? He's giving me biting the finger that fed you kind of vibes, because thinking about Akon's career, I know that Akon got his big break in America, and his career, everything about his swag, his kind of music, the way he branded himself, to me screamed African Americanness. Even though he's African, everything about his musical career, in my opinion, was basically built and made successful by his proximity to African Americanness, you know. And obviously he must have had a lot of supporters who are African Americans, and then you come out and say this. And I think there was one comment in the comment section that best describes what I feel. Let me just read it out. The person said, people who build their careers from their adjacency to African Americans and have a lot of African American supporters shouldn't talk like this. Yes, to think that Akon has the kind of platform that he does, the kind of following, the kind of fame, the kind of respect, everything that he does, you basically know that you have a large platform. There are just some things you should not come out and say. Now, I'm not trying to say that everything he said is untrue or whatever. I'm just saying that he made the mistake of generalizing. You cannot tell me that every African American artist is that way. And you can't tell me that every African is the opposite of what you describe African Americans to be. And you guys, can you guess what the comment section was like? The diaspora wars was warring. Like, people are in the comment section arguing, African Americans taking shots at Africans, Africans taking shots at African Americans, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe we're here again. So now you see comments like this and comments like this. People were obviously offended by what he said, and rightfully so. I understand. It doesn't make sense to me. I do not approve of what he said. And please, every African does not see African Americans this way. I just needed to state that. To even think about it, I think Akon has been having a lot of negative press recently, saying some problematic things.
Do you agree with, like, Nick Cannon and his spreading of his seed?
100%. I agree with him 1,000%.
Oh, but no.
That's how life is supposed to be.
Okay, go on.
He's rich. He's responsible.
Is he?
Yes, he takes care of every one of those
but
children. He's there for every single one of those kids.
There's no way that you could have 12
kids. I got 9, and I'm there for every one of mine.
So every single time you're at every single recital?
No, that's a white man's thing. Who cares about a recital?
No.
My job. Oh, no, seriously.
So why am I even surprised that he made this comment that he made? Anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share this video to your friends who might be interested. Subscribe if you like my kind of content. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.